You call it courage. The world calls it weakness. Every time you vent online, you aren't healing a wound. You are bleeding in a shark tank. Stop handing out free ammunition to people waiting for your downfall. 2 men, 1 desert. 1 jar cracked straight through the middle, and 1 jar small enough to laugh at, and only one of those men makes it out alive. That's the setup. Strip away the poetry and look at the mechanics. Man 1 is carrying abundance with a structural flaw nobody bothered to check. Man 2 is carrying almost nothing, but what he's got is sealed, airtight, untouchable. For the first 20 hours, Man 1 looks like the winner. He's got 10 times the water. People would bet on him without thinking twice. But a resource with a leak isn't a resource, it's a countdown. Every step he takes drains him a little faster, and he's too busy feeling rich to notice he's going broke. Man 2 looks pathetic by comparison. Small jar, slow progress, no applause. But nothing he has ever escapes, so it just accumulates. Quietly, boringly, relentlessly. By the time the heat breaks, the math has flipped completely. The rich man is on his knees, the poor man has more than he can carry. That was never a story about water. That's a story about your mouth. That jar with the crack, that's you, every time you open up to someone who didn't earn it. Every time you post the breakdown, the diagnosis, the divorce, the failure, and call it courage. We've been sold a lie dressed up as therapy. That being seen fully and constantly is the same thing as being strong. It isn't. It's a leak. And somebody, somewhere, is standing downstream collecting everything you spill. For centuries, Japanese culture has run on a split that most of the West never bothered to learn. They call it Tatemae and Honne. Tatemae is the front, the polished face you show a room, a boss, a stranger on the street. Honne is the real one, the actual thoughts, the actual hunger, locked somewhere. Tatemae never reaches. This isn't lying, it's architecture. Even the old swordsmen understood that the fight is won before anyone draws a blade, by controlling exactly what your opponent is allowed to see of you. That single split, Tatemae over Honne, built one of the most disciplined, hardest to read societies on the planet. Stick with me for the next 6 minutes, and you're walking away with the actual mechanics of that split, broken into 4 steps you can start using today. Not theory, a method. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to stop bleeding out in public. Here's the thing nobody's told you. It's not your fault you're leaking. You were trained to. Every app on your phone is built to reward you for oversharing. The more raw, the more vulnerable, the more it spreads, and the more data they scrape off your open wound. Your job did the same thing with a straight face, calling it psychological safety, then quietly filing away every weakness you confessed in a one-on-one. The wellness industry took the most private rooms in your mind and turned them into content. None of this happened by accident. A system that can read you, predict you, and sell to you needs you cracked wide open. And it's been handing you a microphone and calling it healing. So here's the ugly fix, and it's going to feel like going backward. Get a physical notebook, paper, a pen. Every time you feel the itch to vent something real, online, to a coworker, to someone who hasn't earned it, you write it down by hand instead. Fold the page and lock it away somewhere only you can reach. No likes, no witnesses, no comfort from a stranger's reply. Just you, alone, with the truth where it belongs. It feels like crap at first. Good. That friction is the whole point. It's the first wall you've ever built between your real mind and a world that's been mining it for free. This is the Tatemae Protocol. 4 moves in this exact order, and the order matters, because it's backward from everything you've been taught. Step 1. Seal the Honne first. Before you build a single public habit, you lock the private room. Whatever you actually think, fear, or want, that goes in the notebook, in the vault, never in your mouth, before anyone else even enters the picture. Step 2. Build the Tatemae. Now, and only now, you construct the face, polite, agreeable, boringly pleasant. This isn't fake, it's a uniform. A soldier doesn't take his armor off to prove he trusts you. Step 3. Ration the access. Here's the inversion. Most people give trust freely and hope it's earned later. Flip it. Treat your healing like a scarce resource, because it is one. One person, maybe 2, ever get the real version of you. Everyone else gets the uniform, and the uniform is enough. Step 4. Run the mirror. When someone says something dumb, something you'd normally fight to correct, you nod, you agree, you let it go. Not because they're right, because the argument was never worth the leak. Now you've got to sort everything you do all day into one of 2 bins, Tatemae or Honne. public face, or private vault. There's no third option, and there's no, I'll figure it out later. This isn't a checkup you do once a year when something already went wrong. A checkup after the damage is an autopsy. And you don't need to learn how to live, you need to learn how to keep living. So before every conversation, every comment, every how are you really, run the sort. Is this line Tatemae safe, or does it belong locked in the notebook? Most people only ask that question after the wound's already open and somebody's already screenshotted it. Willpower is garbage at 3 in the morning when you're lonely and your thumb is hovering over post. So don't rely on it. Use the notebook as a wall instead of a feeling. Every time the urge hits, the rule is mechanical. Write it on paper first, fold it, put it in the box, physically feel the weight of the thing you almost gave away. That box gets heavier every week, you keep your mouth shut. Pick it up sometimes, feel what restraint actually weighs in your hands. It's not abstract anymore, it's a receipt for every leak you didn't let happen. Here's the trap inside the trap. The urge to confess, to vent, to be real online. It almost never comes from a need to connect. It comes from boredom or anxiety, looking for the fastest exit. So put a hard stop between the itch and the act. 24 hours minimum before you share anything personal with anyone who hasn't earned it. Sit in the discomfort instead of feeding it. Most of what felt urgent at midnight looks pointless by noon. And now you know the urge was never about the truth. It was about being uncomfortable for 5 minutes and wanting an easy way out. This stops being a productivity trick once you sit with it long enough. Every time you keep the mask on instead of cracking it open for a stranger's sympathy, you're not being fake. You're staging a quiet rebellion against a system built to mine you for parts. The polite face you wear into a toxic room isn't surrender. It's sabotage with a smile on it. You're not the loud one anymore, bleeding for an audience. You're the ghost in the room everyone underestimates. Calm on the surface, fully in control underneath it. You're going to slip, you'll overshare, you'll vent to the wrong person, you'll feel that old itch and lose to it. Here's the move. Don't treat it as a moral failure, treat it as a data point. Write down what triggered the leak, who, when, what mood you were in, the same cold way a scientist logs a failed experiment. No shame, no spiral, just the facts, so the crack gets smaller every single time instead of staying exactly where it was. The world's been measuring success by how known you are, how liked, how understood, how authentic you appear to total strangers. That metric is broken, and worse, it's rigged against you because it rewards the loudest leak, not the strongest jar. The real metric is simpler and a lot less glamorous. How much of your time, your information, and your peace stays under your own control. That's it. That number doesn't care if you're charming, attractive, or popular. It only cares whether you're still the one holding the jar at the end of the day, and that means anyone, starting from anywhere, can win this. So ask yourself the question you've been avoiding. You say you want peace. You say you're tired of people knowing your business. You say you want to be left alone. Then look at your own search history, your own comment sections, your own late night confessions to people who forgot about them by morning. The gap between what you claim to want and how you actually behave, that gap is where every single leak in your life has been coming from. Close it, and you stop being a man who talks about discipline and start being one who actually has it. Here's your first move, and it costs you nothing but pride. Down in the comments, confess one small leak. One thing you overshared with the wrong person. One time you bled for someone who never bled for you. Then, right under it, type 3 words. Mask is on. That's it. No essay, no excuse. Just the receipt and the line in the sand. Go build your jar.